Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoy Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
Brethren, I welcome you all to this Sunday worship service, and I thank the Lord for all He has been doing for us since we started this program 3 days ago. And the Father has told me that this program, He's with us in this program. And He encouraged us to key into this program with all our whole heart. And He said that He's going to do some very great things for us in this program. Yesterday's prayer, when we prayed yesterday evening, we protested. And actually in our world today, it's a season of protest. It's a season of protest because there are so many things that are not right. A lot of people feel not happy, not contented with what is going on. And those are the things that lead to protest. Those are the things that gender protest. And yesterday we protested to our God vehemently that His way of dealing with the enemies, that we don't like it. And we want Him to change and do things differently. And I know that our God always hears our cry. And so, brethren, today we are still continuing that same protest. Today's message is taken out of the events that have been happening all over the world in the last 2 or 3 weeks. The events that have now ignited the whole corners of the world. That's where today's message is coming from. And it is important for us to pray in this direction because a lot of people are in bondage. Different kinds of bondage. So many people are in captivity. Although some bondages are more cruel than the others. There's what you call cruel bondage. And we live in a wicked world. Things are taking many people captive. A lot of things are sitting on so many people. A world where virtually every soul is in one bondage or captivity or the other. And Christians are not exempted. Believers and the people of God, they are not exempted from what we are talking about. So that's why we want to pray today. We want to look at the scriptures as well. Because even the people of God can be under bondage. They can be also in captivity. And that's why I'm talking to you today on what I call Get Your Knee Off My Neck. It was a hashtag that originated from what happened in America. I will still give you the background story very well. But what I'm talking about is this. That too many things are overcoming many people. Different situations, different circumstances, different powers. They overcome many people and they take them captive. They hold them captive. And you might think that, well, maybe after a while they will let them go. No. Once someone is taken captive, the rest becomes warfare and battle. Because they are not going to let go easily. The Bible says of Satan that he does not open the door for his prisoners. He does not let his prisoners go free. There's no amount of years or time that he will say, they have been in this for too long, let me release them now. No, Satan does not do that. Once anything takes anyone captive, that thing wants to hold on forever and ever. Look at 2 Peter chapter 2. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 19, especially the B part. He said, while they promise them liberty, today you go around, you see a lot of people promising people liberty. That I will set you free. I will give you liberty. Where it is in my, there's no, your liberty is not in the hand of any man. He said, why they promise people liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. What does that mean? It means that people promising you liberty, that they will set you free, they themselves, they are under one bondage or the other. They are under bondage. He said that for of whom a man is overcome. He said anything that overcomes a man, anything that conquers a man, anything that defeats a man, of that same is he brought in bondage. Say anything that defeats a man, that conquers a man, that overcomes a man, puts that man immediately under bondage. So, I told you that this message is inspired by what has been happening all around the world, following the incident in America where a black man called George Floyd died because a policeman restrained him and knelt on his neck for 8 minutes 46 seconds. And the video release showed the man trying to beg for his life, trying to plead for his life. He couldn't struggle because they handcuffed his hand to the back. And about how many men were on him, and they pinned him to the ground. And one put his knee on his neck. And because of that, he was completely helpless. His life was in their hand. His existence was in their hand. He begged them. He tried everything, but they will not listen. That's how it is. The powers that kneel on people's neck, they don't listen to begging. They don't accept pleading. They don't listen to any kind of emotion. It got to a point where every effort has failed. The young man started to cry out to his late mother. He knew his mother was dead, but there was no any other person he could call upon. He had sons, just seconds to live or die. He had few minutes to live or die. There was no person else to cry to. He started to cry upon his dead mother. Maybe the spirit realm could intervene, but unfortunately, he cried to the wrong person. How I wish he had cried unto Jesus. How I wish he has cried unto Jehovah God and has lifted up his eyes to the throne of God that minute. The Lord would have intervened. So he cried, and the video released how showed the man trying to beg, trying to do everything, but nobody was able to save his life. He died under that man's knee. He died under the policeman's knee. And during his memorial service, I listened to the Reverend Al Sharpton that conducted the service, the memorial service. And he spoke from his message, from what he said, is where this hashtag originated, that get your knee off my neck. And that's where this message is taken from. I saw a metaphor from his message that describes the condition of all humanity, even though he was thinking it in direction of black people only. But I saw a metaphor that transcends down to this spiritual reality. And not just spiritual reality alone, that transcends even further to physical reality. A metaphor that's affecting every person's life. No particular race, no particular tribe is exempt. Because every soul on earth has one thing or the other kneeling on their neck, trying to take life out of them. The Reverend Al Sharpton quoted, I quote him now. Look at the words he used. He said that George Floyd's story is the story of black folks. He said, you kept your knee on our neck. He said, we have creative skills. We have creative skill, but we couldn't get your knee off our neck. Listen, you might have skill, you might have talent, you might even have education or degrees to the highest level. You might have everything that no person else has in life. If there is a knee on your neck, you are not going anywhere. If there's a knee on your neck, that skill will be useless. That talent will be useless. That educational qualification will be useless. Everything you think you can do more than any other person will be useless. Why? Because there is a knee on your neck pressing you to the ground, not allowing you to move. Look at that man on that condition where that policeman's knee was on his neck. His education became useless. Whichever talent, if he knew how to sing, how to do sport, how to do anything, even act or do anything, they all became useless. He was there fighting for his life. That is the terrible situation of having the knee on somebody's neck. Because all your capabilities, all your skill, everything you are endowed with becomes completely neutralized. The Reverend continued, and he said that it is time in Judges' day to stand up and say, get your knee off our necks. That's what he said, and that's where the hashtag came out from. He went on and said that George Floyd's story has been the story of black folks. He said because over since 401 years now, 401 years. And when he mentioned 400, he reminded me of a scripture immediately, which we are going to look at. He said for 401 years, the reason we could never be who we wanted and dreamed to be is because you kept your knee on our neck. Listen, you might have great dreams in life. You might have great aspirations in life. You might have great vision, even plans, even everything. You might have great things running in your heart. You are planning, you are working hard. You might be very hardworking. You might be very intelligent. You could have everything. But if there is a knee on your neck, there's nothing you can do. Nothing. Nothing. You can even be any person. Any person. You can be a pastor with anointing, with power, with wisdom, with knowledge, with understanding, with everything possible. If there's a knee on your neck, there's nothing you can do with all those things. You can be any person at all. You can be a beautiful, a handsome man. If there's a knee on the neck of your marriage, people will just be passing by and be watching you. So what we are talking about is a reality that goes beyond just metaphor, that transcends straight into the spirit reality, and from there into the physical reality, and is manifesting in people's life on daily basis, manifesting. And he said that the reason we could never be who we wanted to be, you can say that I want to be this in life. I want to be this in life. If there's a knee standing on your neck, you can't be anything. You can say that this is what I intend to be. This is what my dream is. You know, if there's a knee on your neck, no dream anymore. Dreams have come to an end. That's the end of dream. You know, somebody can even possess great destinies, powerful destiny, shining destiny that is determined and meant to touch the whole earth. But if the knee comes on the neck, that destiny becomes paralyzed. What happened to George happened to every person. It could be in any area of one's life. A knee could be on somebody's educational pursuit or desire. A knee could be on somebody's marriage. A knee could be on somebody's health. A knee could be on somebody's finances. It could be on somebody's ministry or destiny. It could be on any area of life. That the enemy could just put the knee on that person, and that person is totally handicapped. And the reverend was saying, he said it is time for us to rise up and say, get your knee off our necks. And I was looking at the whole scenario. I was just watching everything. And I started to meditate. And in my meditation, I now begin to look at that young man that died. I looked at his life. He is not the first person to be killed by police in America. He's not the first black man to die in that circumstance. There are so many other ones that video has caught that they killed like that and nothing came out of it. Why did his own particularly ignite such a flame that engulfed the whole country of America? Not only there, the flame spread to everywhere on earth and ignited the whole earth. All nations caught the fire. Not only that, governments now are beginning to look inward. The flame is so strong that even historical people that were once celebrated, they started to look at their history, whether their history has anything to do with colonialism, whether their history has anything to do with slavery, and they started to pull their statues down, and they started to tear them down. The story was so much, the flame spread so much that film makers, all the film they have done before that has any trace of racism, they started to withdraw the film. They started to remove television company houses, started to remove programs that have any iota of racism or anything. Do you see? Why was it like that? This young man's destiny, he had a global destiny, a serious destiny, a powerful destiny. And his destiny, because there was a spiritual knee upon his neck, the destiny couldn't manifest. The destiny couldn't, no person knew him when he was alive. He was nobody when he was alive. He was not regarded as anything when he was alive. But the moment he departed, the destiny refused to die. The destiny stood up on its own and started to cause all these things we see going on earth. It was the power of his destiny, the kind of destiny he was carrying. But do you know that the knee on the neck grounded that destiny until he died? The knee on the neck paralyzed that destiny until he died. Do you know what is happening now? The behavior of that destiny is like a horse where the owner, where the rider, something happened to the rider and the rider falls off the horse. You see the horse will run away by itself. That's exactly what the destiny is doing now. The destiny is operating on its own. The rider has fallen off. The destiny is now ravaging the whole earth. That's how the destiny was meant to perform originally, together with the owner. But the knee didn't allow the owner to function. The knee didn't allow the owner to operate. And the knee possibly didn't start with him. The knee started with his ancestors, his parents, his grandparents. And that's what Reverend Al-Shabat was saying. He said that for 401 years, this knee has been on them. For 401 years. They are able to trace their own self. A lot of people don't even know how long the knee has been on their neck. They don't know how many generations that knee has been pinning them down. Not allowing them to be who they wanted to be in life. Not allowing them to be who they desire, who they dream to be in life. Not allowing all their skill and everything, their destiny to manifest in life. And you can see what the destiny is causing all over the world. Making government to change laws. Making companies and corporations to change their system and operations. Turning everywhere upside down. That is the power of that destiny. But the knee was able to cripple that destiny. Many great destinies, brethren, they are not manifesting. Many giant destinies, they are existing and dying without fulfilling. Why? Because of the powerful knee that is standing on their necks. Exodus chapter 12. Because that reference said that their own was 401 years. That knee has been on their neck. And do you know they have been rioting? Oh? Not that they have not been struggling. Not that they knew there was a knee on their neck. They've tried, because if you listen to commentaries and everything, they tell you 1968, there was something, 1963, there was another riot, then this also year, they tried it again. They have been trying. They knew this, but they are not able to uproot that knee. They are not able to get rid of that knee. And that knee was still there as we are speaking now. Look at Exodus chapter 12. Look at verse 40. Exodus 12 verse 40. Now, the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. 430 years. Is it not similar to what that reference said? He said their own was 401 years. This one was 430 years. Brethren, this knee we are talking about doesn't repent. The knee we are talking about doesn't change its mind. It doesn't tell, well, it's been a long time. 400 years is not a joke. Oh. Let's remove the knee. Let's allow them now to be free. Never. The knee does not change, does not repent. And if you try to get rid of the knee will fight back. The knee will resist. Look at verse 41. And it came to pass at the end of 430 years, even the selfsame day, it came to pass that all the host of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. It is a night to be much observed unto the Lord for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. This is that night of the Lord to be observed of all the children of Israel in their generations. If the Lord did not go and bring them out, if the Lord Jehovah God himself did not intervene, that knee that was standing on Israel in Egypt for 430 years, that knee will never be lifted. Even when Jehovah God went to bring them out, and he sent Moses and Aaron, he said, go and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. What did Pharaoh tell him? He said, I don't know you. I don't know that God you are talking about. He said, and I will not let Israel go. So that knee was willing to fight even God. That knee was even challenge God and went into serious warfare with God for a long time before God was able to break their backbone, break that knee, and brought Israel out. If you don't have a power stronger than that knee kneeling on your neck, forget it. If Israel, the first time Moses went and said, let my people go, what did the knee do? Intensify the torture, increase the bondage, increase the pressure on the neck. The little breathing space they had before, that knee took away that little breathing space and increased the pressure on the neck. That was what happens. So for these long years, 430 years, the neck of Israel was under the knee of Egypt. Israel could not be who they wanted to be in life as long as they remain under that knee. Israel could not achieve what they wanted to achieve in life as long as they remain under that knee. They couldn't do anything. And until God stepped in, until a superior power came in, until a higher power stepped in before that knee was uprooted. Exodus chapter 6. Exodus chapter 6, look at verse 5. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel. Why were they groaning, brethren? It's because there was a knee on their neck. That is exactly what it leads to. All this groaning you see us groaning today is because there is a terrible knee on our necks. There's no person just like that young man. If you watch that video, you see when that policeman put his hand, and the policeman put his hand in a pocket and posed over his neck. And that man was groaning in pain and dying. And you can see it exactly the picture here in Exodus chapter 6. He said that I have heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, whom the Egyptians are kneeling on their neck. They keep them in bondage. And I've remembered my covenant. Verse 6. If the Israel did not have covenant with God, if Israel did not have Jehovah God, they will have perished. That's the same way that young man died. They will have died under that knee of Egypt. He said, wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burden of the Egyptians. That's the same message the Lord said I should give you. He said I should tell you that I am. Say I am, and He's with us in this program. And He gave me the meaning of I am. He said I am everything. I am the beginning and the end. I am the ultimate power. I am He that can do all things. He began to tell me the real meaning of I am. He said that I should tell you that I am is with us in this program. And you can see, he said, go out. He said, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the bondage of the Egyptians. He said, don't worry. I know their knees. You can't free yourself by yourself. I will remove the knees. I will bring you out. I will lead you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with a great judgment. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God, and you shall know that I am the Lord your God, which bringeth you out from under the burden of the Egyptians. That's what I was telling you. If you don't have God, people on earth who don't have God, there are different things. Family idols are kneeling on people. Family witchcraft are kneeling on people's neck. Wickedness in the land, they are kneeling on different people. Demons of all types, they are kneeling on people's neck. If you don't have Jehovah God for your God, if He is not your Father, no person can bring you out of such knees. No person can deliver you out of such knees. Look at verse 8. And I will bring you in unto a land concerning which I did swear to give to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, and I will give it to you for an heritage. I am the Lord. And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel. When Moses went and told them, but they hearkened not unto Moses. Why? Because of the anguish of spirit. When you see believers, children of God, Christians, members of Diadem, when you see them in discouraged mood, don't blame them. When you see them, they are not happy, don't blame them. That's the same thing. It's because of the knee on the neck. The same thing, the Bible said that even when Moses brought this message to them and said, I am has appeared to me, is the Almighty, I should go and tell you this. The Bible said they couldn't even understand, they couldn't listen, they didn't accept it. Why? Because of anguish of spirit. To put a knee on somebody's neck is not a joke. And for that knee to be there for 430 years is not a play. So we say for anguish of spirit, and for what? For cruel bondage. The bondage was so terrible. Verse 10. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, go in that, leave them alone. I understand their condition. The knee is too heavy on their neck. Go and tell the man that owns that knee. Go and speak to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and that he should let the children of Israel go out of his land. Go and tell him to remove his knee. Go and tell Pharaoh, remove your knee from my people. Let them go out. And Moses spake before the Lord, saying, behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me? Who am I of uncircumcised lips? He said, if the children of Israel that I want to help, they are not even listening to me, is it the owner of the knee? Is it easy to tell somebody, remove your knee, and he will remove it like that? And then you now know the rest of the story. How God now told Moses, he said, don't worry, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to deal with that Pharaoh. I'm going to deal with, because listen, brethren, Pharaoh was not kneeling on Israel ordinarily. It wasn't just ordinary. Moses and Aaron were going to Pharaoh to this protest. You know, this type of protest we have seen all over the world today. And carry placards, to burn something. That's what Moses, they were like going to protest. Let my people go. Pharaoh did not mind them. And then they started to destroy things. They started to do miracle and to throw something down. It turned to serpent. When they started to destroy, they'll smite the water. No, the water turned to blood. They couldn't drink. Those little damages, collateral damages. When they started to create all those kind of damages, Pharaoh now started to give them what you call temporary relief. Temporary relief. That's exactly what has been happening with mankind, especially the people that have been rioting. Temporary relief. When they see that you become destructive in nature, they will call you and say, okay, from now we add more job to the black community. We create more job for you. They loosen the rope. They just say, okay, lift the knee a little bit. That's what Pharaoh was doing with Israel. He will tell them, he say, now I understand what you are saying. Now I understand what you are saying. The pressure is too much on you, isn't it? Let the women stay. Let the children stay. Let the men go alone and worship and come back. They begin to give you conditions. Temporary relief. It got to a point, he said, okay, all of you go and worship. Leave your animals alone. Because of what? The devil does not remove his knee easily from any person's neck. So that's how, until God told Moses, say, don't worry, I know what to do. And when God descended on Pharaoh and smote that knee and smote all of them that night, Pharaoh said, go everything, just go. Let's continue with the scriptures. So why am I telling you this? Do not accept temporary relief. Do not accept the negotiations of Pharaoh. Don't allow the powers kneeling your neck. You can do this program and they see that you are determined and you are rioting already, and they will remove the leg a little bit. They just lift the knee a little bit out of your neck and you just see a little light. You are able to breathe. Because that young man was crying, I can't breathe. When they see that you are choking and dying and you cannot breathe, they might remove it a little and then you breathe 1 or 2 times before they will repress it again. They might release a little thing, maybe little money will enter your hand. Little change will enter your hand. Small breakthrough will enter your hand. And then you will relax and the knee will still continue standing there. So Pharaoh was not doing it ordinarily. That's what all these people protesting. They don't know the spiritual power behind the bondage. They don't know the occult kingdom that are supervising the knee that is standing on their neck. They just think that it's government policy. No, it's not government policy. It goes far beyond that. It transcends into the spirit realm. There's a terrible satanic personality that is behind all those captivity. Look at it in chapter 12. Look at Exodus chapter 12 verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night. This is, if God did not pass that night, come down by himself, pass through and do what he did that night, that knee will never lift up. He said, I'm going to pass through this night and I will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, because that's the strength of their knee. The firstborn will always take over and continue from where their father stopped. Another firstborn will take over and continue from where their father stopped. Another firstborn will take over, continue from where their father stopped. That's how it lasted for 430 years, because the firstborn are the one continuing the whole rotation. He said, don't worry, I'm coming to break the knees. He said, I will pass through this night and I will smite both the animals and beasts, and against all the gods of Egypt will I execute judgment. I am the Lord. So those gods of Egypt, they are the one benefiting from that knee and everything that knee is doing. It's actually the knees of the gods of Egypt that are using human knees to kneel on their neck. So if you don't see beyond the physical, You just think that, well, because I'm a black man, I can't get a good job, I can't get to good school, I can't get to this one. They might even give you good school, give you all those things, yet they've not removed their knee from your neck. The knee, you go to school, you go to university, you go to every of them, come back, there's nothing, the knee is still on the neck. So it goes far beyond that. You need to also reach to the gods they serve, the gods of wickedness, the gods of evil that they serve, that they go to every night when they finish kneeling on you, they go and report to that God. You need to deal with that God. That's where the battle starts from. That's what the Lord did. He said, I'm coming this night to deal with those gods. Verse 28. And the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord commanded them. Listen, everything the Lord will command us in this program, please do it. Obey it and do it like that. So they did it. And verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight, the Lord smote all the Lord started to break all the knees, smite all the knees, crush all the knees that night. From the firstborn that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, all the firstborn of cattle, everything. Verse 30. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry. Why? Their knees have been broken. And I speak into your life today that every knee that has been kneeling on your neck, in any area of your life, Jehovah God will arise in anger today and will pieces that knee in the name of Jesus. There was a great cry. There was no house where there was not one dead. Verse 31. And he called for Moses and Aaron that time and said, now our knee is gone, go away. Your necks are free, go away. He told Moses and Aaron, he said, you can now go serve the Lord as you said, as you like. Take your cattle, take your flock, take no more negotiation. You are free. The knees are broken. He said you are free. And the Lord has commanded Moses. And it came to pass the same day that the Lord did bring it out of the land of Egypt by their armies. That's how they were delivered. If God did not intervene, I told you that when a terrible knee is kneeling on somebody, you need a stronger power. You need a superior power. Black continent. Everywhere they are, black people. Everywhere they are, all over the whole world. For over 400 years. All their life. Their necks have been under terrible knees. Economic knees. Social, political, terrible power. Kneeling on them. Power stronger than them. That they are not able to come out. Even when they claim they have independence. That's the kind of independence Pharaoh was negotiating with Israel. Independence. But they know how to manipulate them from the back. They know how to control them from the back. They know how to rule them indirectly again. They know how to program corruption into their midst. They know how to program fight into their midst. They know how to plunder them, plunder their resources, and do all those kind of things there. And then they will load them with debt. Load them with debt. After a while, they have been paying for over 30, 50 years. And they have paid more than 10 times the cost of that original debt. They will now tell you, say, they forgive your debt. They say they forgive your debt. They start again loading you with fresh debt. Do you know what the Bible says? In Proverbs chapter 22 verse 7, the rich ruleth over the poor. And the borrower is a servant to the lender. So as they are borrowing, they are servants to the lender. And that's the knee. That's the knee that has been kneeling on black race everywhere. Go and start a company. Make a bid for contract. Let them see your name there, that your name resembles African name, and see whether you get anything. Go and look for contract. Make a phone call and let them call, and then let your accent resemble African accent and see whether you get it. Knees. Those are the knees. And it does not come by all these pharaonic negotiations and pharaoh arrangements that you think can give you temporary relief. Why the main knee is still standing on you. The main knee is spiritual. And I pray that we'll be able to pray today to uproot that knee. Let's close our eyes. Different things that are kneeling on different people. Kneeling on their marriages, kneeling on their finances, kneeling on everything. Foundational idols, kneeling on people, kneeling on families. Since that family started to exist, it is they themselves that will use their hand to go and carry idol, brought it into the family that come and kneel on them. Human beings, wicked human beings, covens, kneeling on many people's neck, choking them to death. So today we are going to resist, and we are going to tell whatsoever that is putting this knee on our neck, get your knee off my neck. Close your eyes and begin to cry unto the Lord, and begin to tell the Father, my God, I am under heavy bondage. I am under terrible bondage, my Father. I am under cruel bondage. My Father, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe, Lord. My enemies put their knees on my neck since I was born. Since I was born, the knees of my enemies have been on my neck. My Father, I am dying. I am dying. I can't breathe, Lord. Help me.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.